The truth is an irony, just like animal farm. Justice mean inequity, so who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence, Islamic leaders silence, kings and queens silence, traditional leaders silence. So who go say the truth? We are the workers of the call. Now by area, why no better? We are the workers of the call. One guy's area, why no better? Who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Oh, you need it now, see what I see so. Now your friend on a nine come at them. Only papi obeka na sembia. So I want to bet you were too. Everybody was afraid. And until I learned to my cottage again, once my boy dumping one another. But who go tell the truth? Nanai or say me. Nanso bien person beka wasam because everybody is afraid. Anya safwe muayini. Akuku drofo nyina dalima. Enti who go say the truth? Obiaja konson so to grow your mansa to me bia kakobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo when you know yet. Na so kutrata down na so be dia back or why no keke. I fene for be man mo pia for efo ne cross on my mo. Hanya safwe mo ayini. Akuku drofo nyina dalima. Enti who go say the truth? Abaya di bote chino. Yedi bi bebo nyande bi. Kachi sa udi oma opipi numa. Would your mind never shine my preference? But who go tell the truth? TUC, silence. Even journalists, silence. So then who go say the truth? Right is right. Wrong is wrong, no matter how you justify. You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you, now the person become your target. Jobless, no they mean senseless. Poverty, no they mean useless. One day, then go resist. The country where I come from, the truth is an irony, just like animal farm. Justice mean inequity, so who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence, Islamic leaders silence, kings and queens silence, traditional.
Hello, good evening, and welcome once again to your favorite show on live radio and live on TV. On my show, my view show here live to you every Monday, as we bring you all the important issues as they are on your live show. And today we are joined. We are bringing you live issues as they are, as they pertain to you. Last week, unfortunately, we could not be able to join you with very important matters as they were, because we had some important technical issues that we could not resolve. But this week, we've been able to make it, and then we are able to join you live as it were. Um, Over the past few weeks, we have been dealing in the territory of issues that have to deal with politics. However, this week we are delving much more into issues that are within our terrain, within our terrain, issues that are much more developmental, issues that are much more social, issues that are deal much more with the matters that we are much more, versed with, and the issues that have to do with developmental matters, social matters, and matters that concern you most of all. And as we keep saying, as much as matters are as much as matters are developmental, they are political. As much as matters are political, they are also social. As much as matters are social, they are also political. And all of these things mash up together to bring us things that are much more related to you, much more developmental to you. And this is where we are today, as usual. And today we are bringing you a much more social matter, but much more developmental, much more political, and it has to do with the things that have to do with the developmental matters of Africa, and much more the matters that have to do with the developmental matters of Ghana. And this is where we are meeting you today, as usual. So today we would bring you something that is very, very important, something that is probably much more, something that is wider than our normal scope. And we would bring you something that is within your normal reach as normal. So as usual, we would like to invite you to our reach. So if you are tuning in today and you are joining us, we would like to invite you to our normal viewership. We would like to invite you to our normal viewership on our normal normal viewership on our view, and we would like to invite you. I don't know whether we have our guest on. Yes. So thank you very much, Mr. David.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, Mr. David,
Yes.
we're scheduled to have you a few weeks ago,
Yes.
but as they would have it, they call it a force majeure. There were a lot of things that combined together to make it impossible for us to meet. But today you are here with us, and we are very happy to have you. And I'm very sure that our listeners, and our viewers are very happy to have you as well. So, Mr. David, thank you for joining us, and we are very happy to have you. And we normally have to we normally start this on a very light note. How
Right.
are you doing? Hello, Mr. David. Hello, Mr.
You hear
David. Are
me?
you?
I'm
I
doing very well. Yes, I'm right here. I can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, so the question is, how are you doing? Are you
I am
are you?
doing very well by the special grace of God.
We are very happy to hear that, and we are happy to have you as usual, and as usual to have you as our guest. And
Thank you very much.
yes, so normally we deal with lots of things that have to do with developmental matters, political matters, social matters. But as our viewers have come to have us, we have gotten to know that these things are not isolated. You know, social matters are not isolated with developmental matters, and they are not also isolated from political matters. And today, I think that you represent the very essence of our existence,
Right.
because the things that you are doing
Right.
cut right across the spectrum of what we deal with, because
Right.
you are a true example of matters that are developmental, social, political, and you cut across right through.
Yeah.
um Normally we like to introduce our guest, but because of your special nature, I think that it's only true and proper that you do us the honors of introducing yourself, and then
Yeah.
you launch us right deep into what we are going to deal with this evening. So just take it from there.
Thank you very much. I'll say good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everybody who is connected with us here. Good evening because I am here in Ghana, and depending on your geographical location and where you are connecting with us from, good morning to you and good afternoon. As I was introduced, I am David Douglas Tenge, and I am the executive director of the David Douglas Leadership Forum. This is an organization that was registered in the year 2018, and the primary reason for putting this organization together is to bring to the notice of our youth the shift that we need in terms of leadership. And so, of this organization, we have been doing leadership programs. We have weekly series that we do every Sunday between the hours of 7 p.m. To 8 p.m. And it's a global platform that we have people that connect globally to this platform. We also do in-person programs with the senior high schools, and we do with the universities who are the tertiary institutions and communities. In view of what we do as an organization, and trying to help reduce in job creation, we also realize that it is important for us to leverage on the networks that we have internationally to direct the feet of investors into our continent, which is the continent of Africa and Ghana, to be precise. So last year, we took that initiative by organizing an event in Las Vegas, which is called the Africa Investment Expo. It was a successful program, and this year we decided to drive that to Africa. And that is what we have ahead of us coming up next week, which is Monday, Africa's Peace, Investment, and Tourism Summit. So this is a little background about me and what we do. Thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. David, you are being quite modest with what's happening. But what you have what you have up your sleeves is not a modest matter. It's something that is something that has to catch the attention of Ghanaians, and something that Ghanaians have to really Ghanaians have to take take cognizance of, and
Yes.
embrace it, if as it were. So like I said, you are trying to be modest about it, but this is not something to be modest about, because it's really something that is quite big, quite catchy. So
exactly.
let's go there. Let's go there.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Ghanaian, but it is something that is for the continent of Africa, because we have participants beyond just West Africa. It is an event that is thoughtfully put together to drive investment. And investment as it is, those of us, me and you out there who are doing this job by putting the map of Ghana on the globe and putting the continent of Africa on the globe, we have certain connections and certain identities, and these identities are what we want to leverage on to add value or to bring certain changes to where we live. And I want to be careful to say this, which our president said when he was inaugurated into office for the first time, that we should be citizens and not spectators. And for us not being spectators, we have to make sure that we do something beyond the borders, beyond what we can imagine, to support the government. And in doing that, what do we do? That is why we're driving in these investors. But the thing is, driving investors into a land which you have to make sure that there is peace on that land. Because if I'm asking you to come to my continent and to come and do investment, nobody is ready to bend their fingers. So you have to make sure that, at the same time that you are talking about investment, you should be the same person also who will talk to you are asking people to come and do investment. Talk to them about the importance of peace, because without peace for any business. And so for that reason, we decided to also add peace and security as part of what we are doing as an investment organization. Then we also thought of adding tourism to it. And tourism is one of the businesses globally now that a lot of countries are making a lot of money out of it. I was in Dubai recently, and then you can look at the country of Dubai. You realize that Africa is much richer than Dubai, but what is working with these countries? Leadership is working with these countries, and they are leveraging more on tourism to grow these countries. And you realize that things are working for them. So these are the things that we want to do. And one will ask you, talking about peace, what devices, what instrument, what are the things that you put in place of talking about peace? Because peace is not just something that is limited to an individual or one person. But as an organization, we do research, and we research into certain areas that are important of peace. And you will want to know who should be the drivers of peace. Peace should it be something that we leave for politicians, or peace should be something that is talked about by an individual, by the CSOs, by organizations, by institutions. These are questions that you need to ask yourself. For instance, if something happened today as we speak, who are the people that are going to be affected the most? Is it the politicians? Ask yourself, who is of advantage to all these things? And you realize that the individual that is in the village there who has no knowledge about politics or anything, these are the people that are going to suffer at the end of the day. The disability community, a whole lot that you can talk about. So if we know that we are the people who are going to suffer at the end of the day, do we need to sit, or do we need to take a back seat and say the politicians are doing what they are doing, so let's fold our arms and watch them do what they have to do? No, we don't need to do that. So what do we need to do? We have to come out and we need to speak as an individual. And speaking as an individual, like most of the times people are afraid to come out to talk about these things. But I think, or we think, that it is about time that we have platform that can speak about these things, that can address these issues, and people will have confidence to come on those platforms to speak freely and to say things that disturb them in terms of peace. And more importantly, in this year in Ghana, where we are coming to have election, having election, it is important for us to let the politicians know that, yes, we, the citizens of this country, we need peace. And for that reason, the power that, you are holding in trust for us, because we vote you into power and we have given you that power. So you are holding it in trust for us. Think about we, the people who gave you that opportunity. And this is what we are doing with the Africa's Peace Investment and Tourism Summit. We engage other African countries that are part of it. There are many, I can't just mention them, but a few that I can mention off my head. Nigeria is part of this. South Africa is part of this. Zimbabwe is part of this. Kenya is part of it. Namibia is part of it. Equatorial Guinea is part of it. We have a lot of African countries that has come together to be part of this. And this event will be taking place at the Accra International Conference Center. We have taken time. We've done a lot of work in terms of engaging our communities and engaging the our so-called politicians, women, the youth, and the students. So in as much as we can think about these people, we have taken the time and we invite them. So students from the city will be present at this event. We have the community members, we have the Kayaye community chiefs, they are there. Because one of the things also that we realize in our field of work is also because we realize that the paramount chiefs, the community leaders, they have so much power to exercise when it comes to the promotion of peace, when they come to the talk of peace. But these people, most of the times, they are afraid to come out to speak. But these are the people that lead the community where we are. And most community members, have allegiance to all these leaders, our chiefs, our kings, and things like that, more than they have to the politicians, because the politician has only 4 terms or 8 years, maximum 16 or 20 in office. And when the politician leave the office, where are you going to? You are coming back to the community where they vote for you. You are going back into that community. So you cannot take yourself out of that community. You are in that community. And when you are out of communities, you're the head of you in that community is the king, is the paramount chief. So you cannot say these people don't have power. They do. And it is about time we need to let the kings, we need to let the chiefs know that they have more power than the politicians. And anytime that the politicians come to them to chip them with something that is not valuable just because they need their voice to get people to follow them and which will not drive peace, it's about time we need to let them know. So we have taken time, we visit chiefs, the regional house of chiefs, we invite them because one of the partners to this event is the Gamanche, who is the paramount chief and the president of the God Traditional Council. So he is part of this. He is so much involved in what we are doing. So you can imagine, and that is being used also to connect with other chiefs in the region and other regions like that, and to get them in. The Queen Mothers, we had a meeting with them. We sat with them. We want them to be part of this. So talking about peace, this is what it is. And also, then we come to talk about investment, and that is, if time will permit me and if you allow me to talk about it, we talk about investment. So, because the event is for 3 days, the first day is where we are talking about peace, and the second day is where we will talking about investment and understanding that investment.
Mr. David, just so that you
Yes.
don't so that you don't give too much of what you are giving away
Information.
and
Okay. All right. I want to ask, is my sister Sefako on?
So hold your horses and just take a cup of tea.
Is Sister Sefako on the line?
Yes, so hold your horses, take a cup of tea, and relax. And we are going to bring your sister to join you on the show, so that she is going so that she will help you articulate what you are trying to propagate. And just in case you don't know, and in case the listeners don't know, there are people on the background who are seriously asking for your sister Sefako to join you and to elaborate the matters that you are trying to discuss with us. So I would like to I would like to invite your as you mentioned, your sister Sefako onto the show. Should I say Miss or Mrs. or Doctor? Which of them is more appropriate for you?
Doctor.
Okay. So Dr. Sefako, thank you very much to this evening's discussions. As we started with your partner, few weeks ago, we were able to have you, but as events may have it, they call it a force majeure. Events beyond our control came into the picture, and you were not able to join us or were not able to have this show. But because of the importance of this show, especially because of the importance of this show to our viewership and our listeners, we have decided that you need to be on this show because it's really important for our viewership to have you on this show. So we start on the lighter matters. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well by God's grace.
Hope you have been able to recover from the matters that kept you away from the show the last time. It was really, I mean, for those of us who are in the diaspora, we know how these matters can be very disturbing. So we hope that you have recovered from them and that you are doing quite well.
Yeah, it's always a busy schedule. So it is those type of requirement that when you have them or you have to meet them. Right now, as I'm talking to you right now, at exactly 3:16, which is 7:16 in Ghana, I have to be on air for another show. But because of how we scheduled this, and I couldn't, because today Vermont is having the biggest news on air, which is eclipse of the sun, which is happening right now. It just happened. And then to some questions on air again. So I would say that is the busy schedule that we have that is actually not permitting us.
Okay, so I mean, like I said, it's always a pleasure to have you join us. Just before you joined, your partner with the program that's coming off was telling us about the partnerships that have had to come together in order for you to have this event happen in Ghana. And fortunately, you are part of those the group of things that have come together to have this thing happen in Ghana. So, how did you get yourself involved in all of this?
That's a good question. Uh, I'm an international disability rights advocate, a policy analyst, and I'm also a lecturer. And what I'm well known across the globe, it's about disability. I'm a person with disability myself. And when we are talking about investment, we are talking about tourism, we are talking about development, talking about issues, as you said, social issues, political issues, community issues, or whatever topic we are talking about, we need to think deep about people with disabilities. I'm not talking about physical disability. I'm talking about people who have every type of disability, both visible and invisible. And that is what I stand for as a person who works in the school system and also in the community. So we came on board. That is enlightening and empowering people with disabilities in Africa. My organization that was founded since 2012, we came on board to make sure that in this big event in Ghana, in Inada West, enlightening and empowering people with disabilities in Africa, or EEPD Africa for short, is a volunteer non-governmental organization directed and staffed by volunteers with and without disabilities. We use the UN Convention on the Rights of People with Disability as a guide. We analyze policies, create awareness, advocate, and influence change in favor of people with disabilities in Africa. And we liaise with individuals and organizations in their home countries to work towards equality, equity, and opportunity that are available for them by using the universal design tools. So when we are
Yes. So, if you just joined us, depending on where you are, to all our viewers on and listeners on Sakina Information Center in Tatali in Northern Ghana, to all our viewers and listeners on High FM in Achunhima in the Eastern region, to all our viewers and listeners on the King's Radio in Accra, Ghana. If you are joining us, we welcome you very much to the show. And just before you joined us, we were talking to, our sister, Dr. Sifako, who was trying to tell us the linkage between her organization and then the event that is happening on Ghana. And just in case we have not told you, this is quite a big event. It's having the attendance of quite some important matters in important people in Ghana, and this is something that is going out to, it's not only a political matter, because we are going to have our other guest join us soon, and he's going to tell us the list of the guests who are joining us for this program.
What happened?
Yes. I must say, technology happened.
So where did you hear me up to?
Yes, so we're still you were still giving us a brief on on your partnership with developmental issues and how they relate to to Ghana and how you are contributing to developmental matters in Ghana. So I was trying to bring our viewers and our listeners to to bear on trying to draw the linkages between the work that you do and and how development and social matters in all connect to make to bring things into unison.
Yeah. So I was saying that how we came on board with this big event in Africa is because our organization, or my organization, called Enlightening and Empowering People with Disabilities in Africa, which is a volunteer non-governmental organization directed and staffed by people with disabilities and people without disabilities. Our main thing that we use is the UN Convention of the Rights of People with Disabilities, or UNCRPD for short. As a guide, we analyze policies, create awareness, advocate, and influence change in favor of people with disabilities in Africa. And we liaise with individuals and organizations in their home countries to work towards equality, equity, and other opportunities in their home countries by using the universal design frameworks. So when we are talking about development, talking about citizenship, talking about investment, you and I can understand that we have left a huge number of people behind for so many years in terms of development. We never think about people with disabilities to be at that level of hierarchy or to be working to add value to our nations. So when we are coming on board this time, we are just being intentional and also be very much purposeful that this is about Africa. It's about us, people with disabilities. So our work as EEPD Africa, what we are doing is connecting to the people that we work across with in Africa and bringing them to Ghana, my homeland. We are making sure that charity begins at home, right? The first ever summit, which is happening, even though we have plans to move outside Ghana in the subsequent years, this is home. This is the home of what? Riches that we have, the gateway to Africa, as we always say, Ghana. I am so proud to be part of this, or our organization is part of this, because we have already been working across Africa and we are connecting all the dots. Another thing that we are doing is bringing investors who are in the diaspora. For instance, I live in the US and we work across, working with people who are people with disabilities in diaspora. How do we bring them back home? So that is how EEPD Africa has come on board to work closely with DDLF in this journey.
Wonderful. Dr. We are going to come back to you briefly to try to connect what your work is and what is really happening in Ghana over the weekend. So just go nowhere, stick with us. We are going to come back to you briefly. We would like to now introduce properly what is happening in Ghana in the coming weekend, and see how we can relate all the matters that we have been trying so far. We have been teasing the matters out, but we are not really getting into the matters properly. So, Mr. David, welcome back. As I said to you, as I said before we joined your sister Sevako, we said you were being humble about it, but your issue is not a humble issue, because when we look at the things that you are doing, just the program alone, it's nothing to be humble about, because if you pull this off, it's not something think that's a small issue. And so we would like to, we would like you to introduce this to our viewership and let them know what is happening over the weekend, and what you have in store for Ghanaians, and who they should expect, and what they should expect, and what you intend to give to them. So, in a nutshell, is over to you.
Thank you very much. It's rather unfortunate I couldn't listen to my sister because I don't know, the internet was on and off, but I know her already, so there's no doubt I know she'll do justice to the questions that you've asked her. But yes, to answer to your questions, what is happening in Ghana from Monday is we have the whole world converging here in Ghana. We have some people that are coming in from Wednesday, Thursday to Friday. And the weekend is going to be intense because we have people coming in. And it is all about the Africa's Peace Investment and Tourism Summit. This is a summit that connects well with the world and connect world with Africa, and people who understand the importance of what peace is. They are coming in to add their voice to this campaign. And what we will ask from you as an individual, from you as an organization, and from you as an institution is be part of this movement. Come and join us from Monday to Wednesday. Let us all talk about the importance of peace, and let us talk about investment, and let us talk about tourism. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but what you are inviting us to? Exactly what is it that you're talking about peace, you're talking about investment, you are talking about, bringing all of us together. When we come together, what is it that we should expect from you? Give our listeners, some insight as to what we should expect from you when we meet this coming weekend.
All right. So expectations are something that you can't really meet for other people. But what you should be expecting to get out of these gathering is it is a networking gathering, number one. And what you should be expecting from me is my delivery on the subject of peace, security for national development, and also on investment. I have passion to support businesses to grow, and it is the reason why we brought in these investors, and we're going to put these investors to businesses. We have investors who are interested in government projects and the private sector. So if you are a business person and looking for funding, or you are starting and you need funding into your business, this is one of the platforms that you can come on, and then you pitch your business. There's going to be business to business session, there's going to be business to government session, and there's going to be government to government session. So we have the B2B session, we have the B2G session, and then we have the G2G session. So all these put together are going to take place from the 15th to 16th. So you can come in, let us know what business you are doing and how much you need to support your business.
Yes, so if there's a government person listening to us, you said you have government people joining you, you have private people joining you, you have lots of people joining you. So for the government people who are joining you, what should they expect to get from your program? What would they what are you going to offer them?
Very well. So, yes, as I did mention, we have the business to government session. That is the private sector that is interested in government business portfolio. We have the Ghana Promotion Center, the CEO, who is Yofi Grant, and God willing, he will be there with us on that day to do presentations on the government business portfolios. And we have an investor from London. They issue letter of credit to businesses that need funding in those areas, and they will be there with us. We have people like Chief Andani, who has also been in the banking sector for over 30 years, and he will also be there. God willing, we will also have Mr. Kofi Amwabin, the former owner of UT Bank. He will also be there with us on the panel for discussion to businesses. So these people couple up with the international community, to those who want to do business here in Ghana, both the private and the government sector. What they should be expecting is that there are people who has the money and they are interested to do investment into their businesses. So when you are coming, come with the right business. Let us know what you are doing. Put your documents together. You don't need to do much. Just put executive summary of what you want to do together, and then come and do presentation on that. And there are people who will have interest in doing business with you. So coming to this summit, come well prepared. If you are into business and if really you want your business to be supported, come well prepared, and then we are there to support you.
Yes, Mr. David, we'll come back to you, and then you will tell you tell investors what to expect from you or what to do when they are coming back to you. But just before we do that, we would like to also invite your sister, Dr. Sefako, back online, so that she would draw the linkage between what you are trying to do and what she is trying to do. Dr. Sefako, now we are talking about your partner is talking about investments and business and government and a lot of things. How do you what's your linkage to all of this, all of these matters that you talking about?
Thank you so much for that question. You know, most of the times when we have opportunities as people with disabilities, we are not seen or even heard. And as a person with physical disability myself, right now I'm in my wheelchair talking to you. Here I am as a doctor, a PhD holder. Nobody expected me to be. I have so many people with the same values, titles, missions, who are people with disabilities. And that is our pride. I'm bringing these people on board to showcase whatever they have. And most of the time in our culture, in Ghana especially, I would say, they will say that, where are we? They can't find us. Or even if they find us, at some point they will find a way to remove us from the positions that we are entitled to or that we earn to be. So we are trying to change that rhythm, that stigma around disability. We are putting disability on the pedestal. We are trying to make sure that people see values in people with disabilities. So, for instance, I am an actor. I launched my memoir in the US, which I use to teach, which so many people are using in the system here. That is one typical thing that I'm coming to Ghana to do. I'm coming to sign my book. Why? Because here I am being celebrated in the Western culture. My book is in UK, Europe now, trying to enter classrooms. And it's a book that everybody embraces, because I didn't just teach disability from air. I teach it through that book for everyone to have access to it, right? I narrated my story, which everybody has a story, which I say that it's our story of people with disabilities. It's our story because everybody has something going on in their journey until they got to the level at which they are. And that is the value that we have to showcase whatever value we have to show the young ones, the youth, that we are trying to bring up to see that, oh, they can also make it to that level. So as I said, my typical example that I'm bringing on board with my memoir, I tackle so many issues, probing issues affecting people with disabilities on the ground. I happen to work in the education service or system in Ghana before, and I'm still in the education system here, right? And in terms of inclusive education, it's a huge thing in our country and even in the European countries. But how do we really accept how inclusive education should be in Africa? That so that we don't cut and paste, so that it will be culturally responsive to our system, or so that we will be culturally sensitive. I have other people who are bringing whatever they are doing, the artistic works. I have other groups of people with disabilities who are coming to showcase whatever values they have in their home countries. And as much as we put all this together, we will know that people with disabilities can never be left behind. But we have been left behind for a long time, because when we are talking about politics, what is happening right now in Ghana? We just remove our only person with disability minister. We removed him, from the throne, right? It's been a huge issue for us in the disability platforms. Like, how do we really project ourselves positively? How do we really sell ourselves? What is the expectation of the community from us? All those cases, we are coming to discuss them as we look at other people with disabilities across cultures, across other African countries, so that Ghana can learn. Because when we are talking about, let's say Kenya, for instance, they add more value to their people with disabilities. They are very intentional. They make sure that their people with disabilities are participating and adding, they are taxpayers and adding value in so many levels in their country. What are we doing in Ghana? So that is one typical example that I can share, that we are connecting all the dots from Africa, all the people with disabilities. And once again, I want to say it is not only people with physical disabilities. And I have to be very clear that we have a lot of people with invisible disabilities in Africa that we are not talking about. So that is a platform for me as an advocate. That is a platform for me as a policy analyst. That is a platform for me as a teacher who meets them in the classroom to also use this platform to educate and to mentor and to also make sure that parents, politicians, or providers who are coming there will also learn that disability has nothing negative. We all have something dealing with.
Yeah,
thank you.
Perfect. So we would come back to you probably later, so that we'll run up so that you can use this platform to reach out to as many people as possible. There are issues that you are talking about, issues that need much more probing, much more inquiry, much more discussions. But we don't have all the time today, so we would maybe schedule another time so that you join us, so that we can discuss these pertinent social matters that need much more probing. But for now, we join your other guests. We will revert back to you briefly, and then we would we'll talk about them. So yeah, if you just joined us, well, whether you are joining us on in Sakina Information Center, or whether you are joining us also in a High FM, whether you're joining us on the King's Radio in Accra, or we are joining you live on MyView show live today on Today Ghana News, and we are bringing you all the most important matters as they are. And as usual, our people on Sakina Information Center have joined us, and they are wishing us well. Says Nanata Fremu is saying he's just bringing us greetings from Tatali greetings from northern region, Tatali Northern Ghana Sakina Information Center. and all the listeners. And we are grateful to you and all the listeners in the Sakin Information Center. Robert Kimpe, he said he's watching us in Paris. He says, "Big up, Albert. Today you are down." Yes, I just had to. I had to rush into the studio because I had several other matters. But this show is very important. We had to bring it to you, so here we are. Frempong Bafi, you say you are watching from Akuse near Somenya. Is the conference free? We'll ask our guest when we have him back whether it is free or people have to pay for participation. King from Zaru 1, you are saying you are watching us from Kosovo, but you are a Ghanaian physician. Thank you very much for joining us and for being part of the show. Fans TV, you say this is a very important event. You would love to attend. You are watching us from Aflau. Thank you very much, Fans TV, for your show. We say, wow, big personalities will also be there watching from Manfi near who. Thank you very much for joining the show as usual. Asempahene Boachi, you joined us and you are saying you are watching us from Achinhimai in the Eastern region. Thank you very much for joining us. Kwaku Ivo, you say wonderful show and you are watching from Suhum in the Eastern region. Thank you very much, Kwaku Ivo, for joining us. Yaframa TV, you see, Madam is very good. Disability is not inability, and you are also streaming us live on your show on your channel, and you are in Rara. Thank you very much for streaming us live. Lady Man, you are saying you are watching us. You are watching us by satellite in St. Petersburg, and you love the show. Thank you very much for joining the show via satellite. Sikapa family, you say you are watching us on YouTube and from Jumapu near Koforidua. Madam didn't mention her name. Yes, it was my fault. I should have mentioned her name and the name of all our other guests. But like I said, I stumbled into the studio because there are several other matters that I have to take care of. So sorry to you and sorry to all our viewers for that. Continana, you say please kindly ask her if this is if this entertainment session. Greetings from Warsaw. I would ask her. I would also ask our other guests as well. Ose Superior, you are saying you are watching us from Barcelona, Spain. Thank you very much, Ose Superior, for joining us from Barcelona, Spain. Alan Mann, you are watching us from Frankfurt, Germany. Thank you very much for watching us as usual. Patience Daku, thank you very much for joining us as usual. You see our guest, Madam, is she's making us proud and she's beautiful and bold. Thank you very much for watching us as usual. Patience all the way from Frankfurt. Thank you very much. Ghana Ahimfie, you say you are watching us and then you are listening to us from Bosusu in Fantiakwa South District. Thank you very much, Jaframa Ghana Ahimfie, for joining us. And we are happy that you are joining us as usual. So we would welcome our guest back online. And we would like them. We are some minutes past our time, but would like them to give us, conclude with us and tell us what exactly to expect when we meet, when all of us, they are inviting all of us in the whole world to join us, join them over the weekend in Ghana as they meet us. Dr. Sefako, one of our viewers wanted to know whether we are going to have the payment sessions. So that's what you are. You going to have entertainment sessions over the weekend?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for that question. So we actually have some people who are coming to sing, who are actually people with disabilities, and they are bringing their talent on board. We have, yes, entertainment, a lot of dancing, drumming. You know, we cannot do this without entertainment, right? As Ghanaians or as Africans. So yes, we have that package for you. In terms of making sure that we capture everything or everybody, we were very much, let me use the word again, intentional. And we want to make sure that this platform is used to project disability positively. You know, last year in the International Day of the Persons with Disability, the theme we used was United in Action to Rescue and Achieve the Sustainable Development Goals for, with, and by persons with disabilities themselves. So that is why, to me, this event is very much important. And once we have it happen in Ghana, it will replicate, because this is the gateway to Africa. This is something that we have to involve people with disabilities themselves. Nobody will talk on our behalf. Nobody will represent us. And we will do this by ourselves, right? This year, our theme in December, which we always celebrate the World International Disability Day, the theme we have come out with is transformative solutions for inclusive development. What are we talking about? Inclusive development, the role of innovation in fueling an accessible and equitable world. So in this area, you can never do anything again in this 21st century without involving people with disabilities. Again, without involving people with disabilities, especially when you want to add value to your country. Some countries are doing it already, and we have actually been doing some things as a country in Ghana. Some people are copying from us, but we are still not yet done. We are still, we are lagging behind. We are just not making it work for people with disabilities. As a nation, we have potentials. We have a lot of people with disabilities who have actually qualified to work and add value to Ghana. But we just don't know, or we are intentionally eliminating them as a country. And that is why we have to see other countries. We have to hear from other countries, people like us, to see what they are doing in their home countries. So I would just say that, yes, entertainment is coming live and colored. You'll see me on the dancing floor myself, rolling around. And yeah, God willing, yes, God willing, we will see. We will meet you soon. And yeah, it will be fun, and it will be something that we will continue. We have to sustain it for the future. Yeah.
Wonderful. Dr. Sefako, like I said earlier in the show, we probably would have to discuss this, and would want to have you back on the show so that we discuss your other matters, at length, and we have time to discuss them, because the things that you stand for and the things that you do are quite important, and they are things that need to be brought to the limelight, and we are happy to discuss them with you and to explore them further with you as usual. So keep your keep your contact on dial. We'll get back to you, and we'll have you back on the show so that we'll discuss them. So if you just joined us, you have been listening to Dr. Sefako. Dr. Sefako is a partner to the program that's happening in Ghana, and she has been telling you about her role and her role in the program, but not just in the program, but also her role with people living with disability. But of much more importance or of much more essence is what is happening this coming weekend. And we are going to invite Mr. David Douglas to give us a rundown. What is happening? Give us, the program lineup. Give us what we should expect this weekend when we meet you. Where are we meeting you? What is happening? And what should our listeners who are joining you, what should they expect when they meet you this weekend? Over to you, Mr. David.
Thank you very much. So much excited about this. And I think in the comment, I saw somebody asking, is it going to be a fee paid program? No, it's not a fee paid program. When you go to our website, well, we have the registration fee there. But that registration fee is regarding to those who are coming internationally, because there is some aspect of work we need to do seen over there for those payments. Another aspect of the event is with the Garmanche, and that is taking place the second day evening. And that is also fee paid program, and that goes 300 cedis for single and 500 for couple. And then we also have the tourism aspect of the event, and that tourism aspect, it is also 300 for single and then 500 for couples. It's going to be an exciting event, and we inviting everybody listening to me at this moment. Come in there. Well, I will be giving the key. I'll be giving the reason for the gathering, but we have keynote speaker. Not only the keynote speakers, and if I'll have the opportunity to talk about the speakers that are coming in, the keynote speaker actually is coming from Nigeria, Bishop Coker, a very respected speaker and globally recognized for the work he does to support Nigeria and Africa as whole. We have speakers coming from the USA, and then we have speakers from the UK, Finland, and India, and all these people are coming in to add value in their various areas of expertise. And so it's going to be fun. The diaspora will be here with us on the 17th. We are visiting some tourist sites in Ghana, and you just want to be part of it. You will love it. It is something that you will never forget in hurry. So I'm using this opportunity to invite all of you who are listening to us at this moment. Come in. There is a lot that we can learn together from these experts that we put together to add value to what we are doing. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. David, for joining us today, and also joining us on this particular program. And if you just joined us, well, you've missed out a lot. This evening we were joined by Mr. David Douglas, who is having this important event happening in Ghana. And actually, it's not just an event happening in Ghana. It's an event that's it's an African event, and it's also a global event as well. And he was ably joined by Dr. Sefako, who is also a partner of the event that's happening this weekend in Ghana. And we are inviting all of you this weekend to join us, or maybe I wouldn't be physically present, but I probably would be, spiritually present, and I would also be emotionally present and supporting the entire event as it happens in Ghana. And we are inviting all of you to join us to put our forces together as we try to, engender this Africa development agenda, and try to pull Africa onto the limelight and onto the developmental stage. And on this note, we would like to invite Dr. Sefako to give us closing remarks and to probably give you a line or two for those of you who have missed us and have not and have joined us quite late on what's going to happen this weekend. Dr. Sefako, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. And it's been an honor to be with you online or to talk to you this afternoon. You are all invited, as we said. This is very much the very first time in Africa and on our land in Ghana that we are inviting everybody across the globe to have this important celebration. It's an event that will never die, that will start. We are sowing this seed in Ghana, the gateway for Africa, which we believe so much that every good thing starts from somewhere. Where will it start? From Ghana. And we have people on board who are also working towards the success of this particular program. And I just want to give a shout out to all the people without disabilities, those who claim they don't have disability, but for us, we all have disability that have been part of this journey with us. And as much as next week is concerned, a week today, this particular summit is coming to stay. We want to say thank you to everybody, especially my people with disabilities across Africa. I have the privilege to work with so many of you, and I know what you are carrying. Please come, project your work, and add value to Ghana, add value to your country, and add value to yourself. As much as this country is concerned, peace, we know we are dealing with peace in every generation that we are talking about. We can never do anything without a successful environment or a secured environment. So peace has been one pivot that we are revolving around in this journey as much as election is concerned in Ghana. So we know that as you come, you are coming with a heavy load of prayers for us to have a successful program. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon in Ghana. You are all welcome to the summit.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sefako, for joining us and for sharing with our viewers and our listeners this important, all-important information that you have shared with us today. And we would like to say a very big thank you, not just, to all our listeners and our viewers, but to our panelists as well. Dr. Sefako, we say thank you to you. We say thank you to Mr. David for joining us today for this particular program. And we say a very warm thank you to all our listeners on Sakina Information Center, especially in Northern Ghana. We say a very important thank you to our listeners on High FM in Achonhima in this eastern region. And we also say thank you to all our listeners on the King's Radio in Accra, and to all our listeners and viewers who are joining us on all our social media platforms. We are very grateful that you joined us, and we are happy to have you. And this weekend, as you have heard from our guest, the event is free. It's not something that is paid for. Just make your way, as long as you are in Ghana, make your way to the event and join us as we project not only Ghana, but Africa, and exploit all our resources and all our talents and all what is important to us that we can show to the world this weekend, as we embrace the rest of the world to Africa. So thank you very much. And then we would see you again next week. Join us again. Thank you.
The country where I come from, the truth is an irony. Just like animal farm, Justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence. Islamic leaders silence.